That's right. It's Labor Day. Okay,
It
well, it
is.
looks like we are live on Labor Day. Welcome, everyone, to our to our little Success Mastermind group here today. I'm sure we got a few more people tuning in here. Any momento? John Lavenia here with you. Here comes Daisy. Hey, Daisy. But I'll tell you what. I just realized that it's Labor Day. Actually, you know what? I realized it before, but then I forgot again because my calendar's full. Just because I love my work. But I think today we celebrate people like taking action and being a productive member of society, and it's a good thing to do. I don't know if there's any other significances on Labor Day, but um, I guess that's what we do. As an entrepreneur, of course, every day is a holiday for us. Every day, every day. TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. I have a couple things I want to share with everyone here today. We don't have to have a long session, although we'll do whatever you want. The first thing is that in the United Kingdom, it is not Labor Day, and so we will be having an e-commerce work group at 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. That's 8 p.m. British Summer Time. So tune in with Emma and Neil on that. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be finishing up this book, Working with the Law, by Raymond Hollywell. And last 4 chapters. So read through the end, okay, from the Law of Forgiveness on through the end. And our next book, by the way, this book has been profound for a lot of people. A lot of explanation on mostly Christian scripture and how we could actually put this stuff to use in our life, which is what I've been looking to do for as long as I've been on the path, right? Trying to actually put philosophy to use in life. The whole point of this group, right? And everything that I do. But our next book, which I think you're all going to be thrilled about. In fact, I'm going to be emailing everyone a free copy of it today because it's out of copyright and I can send you a free one. And I happen to have a free one on hand. Not Working with the Law. We're reading that now. Wake Up and Live also starts with a W. Wake Up and Live by Dorothea Brand. Tremendous, tremendous book. For those of you who have read it, you know the first 4 chapters alone are worth $20 million. And then chapter 5, she brings it together and then embellishes throughout the rest of the book. But we're going to be going through Wake Up and Live. It is not a book for the lighthearted or for the faint-hearted, I should say. We could be lighthearted about stuff, but she definitely will give you an opportunity to confront your own excuses, your own will to fail, as she puts it. The will to fail, the rewards of failure. So get ready for that. We'll probably spend a month on that one, just like we spent a month on this one. But back to present time. Present time. Hey, Edward and Edward. 2 Edwards just joined us. Something I was just reading, actually, in this book, Working with the Law. And it was in the chapter on the law of sacrifice. Here he was talking a little bit about Abe Lincoln and how if you have no desire to have a role model in your life, or you don't have role models in your life, then that's dangerous. Okay. In fact, watch out for a person who doesn't want to become more or grow or have role models in this case, and shoot for some ideal that person ultimately is going to be a liability. And he cited Abe Lincoln as an example of fairly recent example based on the timing of this book of someone who a lot of people could see as a role model. Anyway, one of the things he was talking about here in this chapter was how when Abe's mother died, she told the kids, please be good to each other and all that, and that Abe never forgot her instruction, and in some ways she was a role model for him. One of the things that she taught them was discipline. So it says here, though Abe was quite young at her passing, he never forgot his mother. She taught him a lesson that he carried with him through life. She taught him that the beginning of wisdom is not imposed by discipline, but the beginning of wisdom is first the desire for discipline, the love of it, the voluntary choice of it. Thus he learned that discipline is the high road that leads to everything that makes life worth living. To me, that is profound. just that one paragraph. That is profound. There's a lot of other profundities in the book, but I was thinking about my life and everyone here in this group and anyone listening to this on YouTube. I was thinking about what drives us to be, do, and have more. What drives us to seek mentors, role models, to see outside of us examples of ideals. Like this person, let's say, has got their act together to such a degree, which I haven't done yet, and I'd like to model that, right? What allows us to even recognize this stuff and the potentiality for us to have it in ourselves? I think, as the author said in the book, for a person who doesn't have that ambition to be, do, and have more, to cause increase for themselves and in the lives of others, yes, that person is a liability, because nothing is created or destroyed. We're either moving lifeward or deathward, right? And if we choose to be an asset to ourselves and to others, keep in mind, you're not floating out in space. You're doing this on a planet with 7 billion other people. Okay, so if we choose to be not only a productive member of society, but someone who can cause increase or demonstrate increase for other people, then I think discipline becomes something we actually cherish. So in that paragraph, I was thinking about my own enthusiasm to develop myself. We can call this discipline. In other words, to give myself a command and then follow it, to do high integrity things. I went to the gym today. This is the first time I realized that it was Labor Day. I went to the gym today, and they have Labor Day hours apparently because they weren't open, and I go early. Okay. And so I was like, that's right, it's Labor Day. And then I forgot because I got busy with other stuff. I came home and I did my exercise. I did my my Athlete and X routine. For anyone who knows Jeff Cavalier, I've given this guy a tongue bath a couple of times. He's got like however many millions and millions of followers on YouTube, and he just gives this stuff away for free. He's got courses you can buy as well. But my goodness, this guy will kick your ass so fast, like 15 minutes, and I'm gasping for air. So I got the discipline in. I was like, all right, I drank my vegetable juice and protein, and I, got the vitamins in, and I'm going to go kick ass in the gym. Oh, the gym is closed. Now what? Great excuse to like not exercise. Fantastic, right? But what I think COVID kind of wiped out those excuses, right? Because there were a lot of gyms that were closed. So I got to learn, some home-based methods, or I could use gravity and stuff. Okay, good. So I did it. The point is, I did it. It wasn't the plan that I wanted, but I adapted and overcame. Why? Because I want the result. I want to fulfill that that affirmation that Emile Coué gave us back in the 1800s, right? Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way. Okay, well, what's one way? I can exercise and get bigger and stronger and whatever. Okay. Every day. Well, that includes today, right? Oh, okay, great. So let's do some exercise. So before I could talk myself out of it, I got it done. So that was discipline. But what preceded the discipline was the intent, the desire, the idea of delight in the results that I could have if I just maintained or developed discipline. So I remember this movie. In fact, I think I quoted this fairly recently. It was called Lean on Me. And Morgan Freeman, is it Morgan Freeman? Yeah, Morgan Freeman enacted the high school principal of this rundown school in Paterson, New Jersey, where kids are smoking crack and it's, gangbanging and all this. And he was lecturing the staff at one point in the movie. Great movie, by the way. He was lecturing the staff on getting, things working in the school again. He was being brought in to rehabilitate the institution. Otherwise, it was going to be taken over by the state and whatever. And so he was admonishing them, and he said, discipline is not the enemy of enthusiasm. And when I first heard that, I thought, well, the perspective of a lot of people might be that for me to have discipline, that's drudgery, and now I've got to force myself to do stuff. Well, what did we just read in this book? It was the love of discipline that precedes the wisdom, right? It wasn't a forced thing. So that brings it all right back to I think the basic of all basics here is, why am I showing up in the first place? What is it that I believe I can achieve? And because of that, am I willing to fall in love with my work? Great question. And that's why I keep forgetting that it's Labor Day. Because TGIM, I get to be on purpose. I had a weekend just like everybody else, right? Last weekend, not this last couple of days, but last weekend, I worked right through it. We had some urgencies and things that had to be handled, and I was a bit out of balance. And this past weekend, I went in the exact opposite direction. I wouldn't look at a phone, like nothing, like staring into space part of the time. and yeah, I needed a little rest, and that was fine. But I was so excited to see my Monday calendar and how packed it is. In fact, I had a colleague ask me, "You working for the Labor Day thing?" This is the end of last week. I was like, "Yeah, I get paid for results, not for punching a clock, or nobody's giving me a day off with pay or something." so I and sure, there's Christmas and Thanksgiving and things where I do take off. But the idea that I get to go beyond purpose, I get to go demonstrate my discipline. Oh, wow, that is awesome. Because I'll tell you what, idle hands do the devil's work. Sitting there staring into space, right? I got my head into some other stuff I probably didn't need to get that deep into, news articles and everything else. So my message for you here today, and I know this is rather brief. We'll see where this goes, but my message for you here today is, what is it that you love? If you can ask yourself, what is it that you love about your work, or that you could find that you love about your work? In other words, if we assess our work, whatever we choose to do, in my case, I'm running multiple businesses, but there are pros and cons to everything, right? So this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Here are the problems which I've chosen because I chose to be in that line of work. And here are the problems I don't have because I didn't choose that line of work, right? So understand that we get to choose what games we're playing. What part of that game can you fall in love with? There are people, here's a game, it's called boxing. And people choose to play that game. And in that game, you get to have an opponent, and you get to beat the crap out of each other. To the point where you're falling over, and if somebody can't get up in 10 seconds, well, then the other guy wins, right? How many of us play that game? Edward, you play that game? No? Daisy, boxing? No. Okay. So other people love that, man. They're like, I can't wait to go get my ass kicked. Okay. I'll tell you what, one thing is, you definitely know you're alive. You guys know I'm doing, mentioned to some of you, I'm doing Krav Maga lessons again. You're alive when you leave with, knuckles a little bit bloody and, dripping sweat. I'm alive, right? I like that game. Okay. Nobody's trying to actually hurt each other there. We're learning how to, defend ourselves and all this. But, but the idea is that there are things that I love about that game. Of course, the competence that comes with that, right? You've got the ability to what? In fact, this is, I think, an appropriate message for everyone. You've got the ability to not be a victim in life, right? When you're competent in the ways of, defense and tactics and all that, you've got a bit of more confidence, a bit more swagger in your step, and awareness of, what to do in the event of, right? I like that. It's not being paranoid. That's just being prepared. So there's something that I love about that, right? Are there times when I don't want to? Well, look, all the time, I don't want to have to use that training, right? I don't want to have to use that training, but I'm trained. Okay. The other, another thing we could say, much more subjective and much less physical, right, would be, let's say, for example, e-commerce. We've got people here engaged in various forms of e-commerce, online business. Fantastic. Okay. Sometimes we look at the problems, and only the problems of that. Oh, the sourcing of the products, the delays, the complications of technology. Okay. Well, you chose those problems. You're in that game. What part of that game can we fall in love with? I love the gratification, okay, of having customers. And this is, I would say, part of your pay. Okay. So yes, you get paid financially as well. but I love the gratification of a positive customer review, especially an unsolicited one, right? When someone's just gushing enthusiasm about having, your product, your whatever it happens to be that you're offering them. Referring their friends because they're so damn excited, right? I get a lot of gratification out of that because what? That's validation. That's where we know that we've had an effect. We know that we've done good and right work, and that we've provided benefits into the marketplace. I don't think that you can, just go through life completely, cynical and one-sided, self-centered, whatever, and be fulfilled, right? I mean, there is the acknowledgement of having affected others as well in a positive way. So back to this main idea of loving the idea of discipline, and that is the seed of wisdom. So your wisdom is going to come from discipline. All of that implies, if you think of the words, okay, so discipline is based on what? Things that you take action on, not just your thoughts, okay, but your actions as well. Wisdom, as a corollary, could be applied knowledge. Some people say knowledge is power. No, applied knowledge, which we can call wisdom, is power. So all of this, all of our answers, all of our pay, if you will, whether that be financial or emotional or whatever, intellectual, right? All of that pay comes through what? Just sitting there theorizing? No, it comes through action. Wisdom is a result of action. Discipline is a demonstration of action. It's not passive. It's dynamic. It's moving, right? You are moving. And so if we are about increase in our life, if we've got these they call them role models, he used Abe Lincoln as an example. Fantastic. If we're moving lifeward, if we're about expansion and greater, fuller expression for ourselves and for others, we're going to see ourselves in action, and we're going to take delight in our work. Some aspect of our work, we're going to take delight in, which is the root diligere of the word diligence, which is pretty close to discipline. Okay. Discipline, diligence. Okay. Take delight in. There you go. Right. So think of the etymology and the derivations of all this. Now we're into right action. And now our answers come all through our action, not through just sitting there and thinking about it. I know that may seem too obvious to some of you, although I could just, with the example I gave you earlier, I could just as well say, you know what, there is the possibility of being healthier, stronger, more fit. And me sitting here thinking about it is better than me thinking about, I guess, eating cake or something, but without the action, without the deed, the commission of the deed, without that, I get to sit here and think about it and not get the fruits of that, and not develop the wisdom of that, and not experience the demonstration. So the reward, I guess I'll conclude with this. The reward, part of your reward is the action itself, the work itself. There is joy in work, said Henry Ford. There is no happiness unless one recognizes they've accomplished something. Production, the basis of that enthusiasm and morale and good feelings of having done something of worth. Production, action, it all comes through action. So I'm wondering today, what actions can we take? And yes, we may have an abbreviated schedule based on our work as it relates to other people. Hey, the banks are closed today, or whatever the story is, right? Where other people are doing the holiday thing. Is there something that you prefer to, because the joy is in the journey, right? That you prefer to be on the journey today? Doesn't have to be a full-time thing, but it could be, right? That you are producing something today, while other people who may not have your level of ambition or enthusiasm for work, they may not be, doing the things that you think they maybe should be doing or whatever. That's just your opinion. But you who have dominion over your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, you are going to go ahead and take some action today, and you're going to feel good about it. Consideration, right? Something you could do today. In fact, I've got more flexibility today because, as we already discovered, it's Labor Day and other people are not on their post in many ways. Sadly, I wasn't able to attend the gym, but I got it handled in other ways. I'm done talking. I'd love to hear any other thoughts on this idea of loving discipline. Please come on out if you got some ideas about this. I'd love to hear them. And as discipline as a seed for wisdom. What did he say here? As you guys are getting ready to talk, let me give you the paragraph again that inspired me. Though Abe was quite young at her passing, he never forgot his mother. She taught him a lesson that he carried with him through life. She taught him that the beginning of wisdom is not imposed by discipline, but the beginning of wisdom is first the desire for discipline, the love of it, the voluntary choice of it. Thus, he learned that discipline is the high road that leads to everything that makes life worth living. Sharon, you've got the floor.
Just kind of, I guess, being a teacher and thinking about words and definitions and connecting things. But to me, discipline also relates to the word disciple.
Mm-hmm.
So, discipline tends to have a negative connotation. Again, thinking from the school perspective, you're going to be disciplined. But also as a disciple, when you kind of turn the word that way, to me, it's a student, learning and hopefully learning wisdom from whoever that mentor is. You started today with saying, do you have a mentor? Just kind of keeping that positive note of the discipline or disciple part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of keeping that mindset that being a disciple, learning whatever skill, whatever entrepreneurial, pursuit you want to have, there's that learning involved, and that learning takes discipline. But just kind of keeping it in a positive light. There's a lot going on in all of our lives. Just, you probably bounce from one of your many pursuits to the next within 5 seconds. You're going from one Zoom meeting to another, and your mind's got to be there. And, you're mentoring a lot of people. And we're very grateful for that. And I feel like a disciple when I come here, that I'm learning from each other, no matter what group I'm in. And I'm disciplining myself to take this hour to be with you guys because I want that in my life. So it just helps keep me positive and moving forward.
Thank you, Sharon. And the whole disciple, the etymology of discipline, right? I just pulled it up in a dictionary from Old French, Latin, disciplina, instruction, knowledge, from discipulus, see, disciple, right? And when we talk about being a disciple, I guess, a lot of people add meaning to that as well. But what do you mean, like an apostle or a devotee or something? No, those are different words. Okay. I'm not looking for devotees, right? Although I know a lot of people are. But no, I see that distinction there with discipline, instruction, knowledge, knowing stuff. I think that's good. I mean, somebody said ignorance is bliss. I don't know what planet they were living on. Ignorance sucks, right? Ben Franklin said, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. There's one of my role models. So whatever you think of, this guy or that guy or Abe Lincoln or whoever, I'll tell you, there's one of mine right there. Ben Franklin, holy crap, holy. Yeah, that guy knew stuff. Thank you, Sharon. So glad you're here. Anybody else would like to share on this idea of loving discipline? Basically loving knowing stuff and how to do stuff and actually doing it. Edward. Hey, Edward.
Hey. Once again, as usual, I guess you study the people that you mentor. It's amazing. Some of the things I wrote down have really just jumped out on the page for me. Let me get my peepers on here. Number one, enthusiasm to develop, resourcefulness, and adaptation. Discipline is not the opposite of enthusiasm. My goodness, just like Sharon was saying, that usually discipline is seen as negative, seen as, oh, you're going to the principal's office to be disciplined, but it's really not, because the enthusiasm that you got to have will create the wave you need to get to the port you're looking for. I mean, it's it's all put together the way you said today. It's just reframing what discipline is. It's looking at discipline and saying, I don't, like I've said before, and like you said before, you don't have to do this. You get to do this, And there's just so many people who'd love to be where you're sitting and love to do what you're doing and love to have the opportunity that you have, but they don't have it. And this reframing of the opportunity, the position, the possibility, is just so paramount, it's a revelation that you just think about. And thank you.
Thank you, brother. So glad you're here. Yeah, I kind of had a breakthrough with that, just reading that one paragraph. What a great reminder. It's like, wow, okay, that's why we're showing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, brother. Anybody else today as we enjoy our American Labor Day? I know we've got some Brits over there. Have we got any holidays in England today? No. Actually, I think your Labor Day is next week. Oh, wait, is that New Zealand? I don't know. I lose track. I got all these calendars. All right. Any other thoughts on this today? Okay. So as you're gathering your thoughts, if there's anything else you want to share, keep in mind that we do have our e-commerce work group at 3 p.m. Eastern US time, 8 p.m. in British summertime. I think we got a month or so left on summertime and daylight time and all that. And then everybody's clocks are changing and nobody will know when to be where they're at. And my clocks don't change in Arizona, so it's extra complicated for me. But that's whatever. I choose to live here. And then we've got 9 p.m. Eastern US time, the final 4 chapters of Working with the Law. And I will be sending out an email today giving everyone a free copy of Wake Up and Live in case you don't already have one. And by the way, our book study group is open to the public. So jlsuccessmastermind.com/books, jlsuccessmastermind.com/books. Nothing to buy there. Just sign up. And they will be on the list and they get to come and talk philosophy with all of us once a week. So last call. Anybody else? Good to see you, Stefan. Beautiful shirt, by the way. Last call. All right, let's go ahead and let's have an awesome Labor Day or whatever day this is for you. TGIM. I love my work. I'm going to go do some right now. I'll see you guys again tonight. You have a great day.